All right, let's talk about how you actually make things happen in Python. If you're going to build anything, you need the right tools. Today, we're cracking open the most fundamental part of your programming toolkit, operators. You can think of these as the action words, the verbs that tell the computer exactly what to do.
I mean, have you ever really stopped to think about it? We've got these incredibly powerful machines, but how do they go from just being a box of circuits to actually calculating, sorting, and creating things? They can't just think for themselves. Nope, they need super precise instructions to do anything at all. So how do we give them those instructions?
Well, that's the answer right there. It all comes down to these things called operators. They are the essential little symbols that make everything happen in our code. If your variables are the nouns, the things we're working with, then operators are the verbs that get the action done.
Okay, so here's the official definition for you. An operator is just a special symbol that performs an operation. Let's stick with that toolbox idea for a second. If all your programming knowledge is a big toolbox, then operators are the most basic tools you've got. They're the hammers, the screwdrivers, the wrenches. You're going to be using them all the time.
And you know what? You're already an expert with the most common one, the simple plus sign. When Python sees 10 plus 5, that little plus symbol is an operator telling it, hey, add these two numbers together. It really is that simple.
So to really get a handle on all these new tools, let's get organized. We're going to open up our programming toolbox and lay everything out in 3 main trades. We'll start with the ones you absolutely need to get going: arithmetic, assignment, and comparison operators.
First up, let's slide open that first tray, the Math Toolkit. These are our tools for doing all the basic calculations, and we call them arithmetic operators. They pretty much do exactly what you'd expect.
Simply put, anytime your program needs to do some math, like calculating a total price, or figuring out a score in a game, or just processing some data, these are the tools you're going to reach for.
Now, looking at this chart, most of these are going to feel pretty familiar. You've got your addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. No big surprises there. But wait a second, check out that last one, modulus, the percent sign. This one is kind of like a secret weapon. It gives you the remainder after a division. So x% y is basically asking, hey, what's left over after I divide x by y? And trust me, that is incredibly useful for all sorts of things, like checking if a number is even or odd.
Okay, great. So you've done a calculation, now what? That answer is just kind of floating around in memory, and that's no good if you can't save it. That brings us to our second tree in the toolbox, the assignment operators. These are what let us store our results.
Their whole job, their entire reason for existing, is to put a value into a variable. Just think of a variable as a little labeled box. The assignment operator is the tool you use to actually put something inside that box.
Now listen up, because this is absolutely crucial. A single equal sign in Python does not mean the same thing as in math class. It doesn't ask if two things are equal. It's a command. It's bossy. It means take whatever is on the right side and stick it into the variable on the left. It's an action, plain and simple.
And this slide right here perfectly lays out one of the biggest trip-ups for beginners. A single equal sign equals assigns a value. It's a command. A double equal sign equals asks a question. It checks, hey, is the value of x equal to 5? One is an order, the other is a question. If you can get this difference locked in your head now, you're going to save yourself so many headaches down the road.
So, fun fact about programmers, we're always looking for ways to type less. It's true. So what happens when you just want to update a variable's value? Add something to it. Well, Python gives us some awesome shorthand tools to do just that.
Okay, let's walk through this one. First, we start with a variable x, and we put the number 10 inside it. Then we see this kind of weird-looking x plus equals 3. So what does that mean? It's just a shortcut. It literally means take the current value of x, add 3 to it, and then store that new result right back into x. It's the exact same as writing x equals x plus 3. It's just cleaner. And the result? Well, x is now 13. See? Not so scary. All right, on to our final tray for today, and this is where things get really cool, because these are the tools that let our programs start to think and make decisions. We're talking about comparison operators.
The entire point of these operators is to ask a question that has a really simple answer, either yes or no. In the world of programming, that yes or no is represented by 2 special words, true or false. And that's all these operators ever give you back.
So really, you should think of each one of these as asking a very specific question. We already met the double equals, which asks, are these two values the same? Then you've got its opposite, not equals, which asks, are these two values not the same? And of course, you've got your classics, greater than and less than, to compare numbers just like you've always done.
And that's it. Just like that, you've filled up the first 3 trays in your programming toolbox. Just by understanding these 3 groups, you've given yourself the absolutely essential tools you need to start writing real functional Python code.
So let's do one final review of our toolkit. We have our arithmetic operators to do the math, we have our assignment operators to store and update our values, and we have our comparison operators to make decisions by asking those all-important true or false questions. This, right here, is the foundation of everything.
So, the toolbox is open. You understand how these essential tools work. The only question left is, what are you going to build first? A simple calculator, a little text adventure game? With these basic building blocks, the possibilities are officially open for you to start creating.